This is Clara Weeks' Wisdom, which is a 10-minute walkthrough of 9 key ideas that have helped literally millions of people recover. I had anxiety for over 10 years. If I had learned this stuff sooner, it would have helped me so much in my journey, and I'm going to summarize it for you guys in the next 10 minutes. Here's what we'll talk about, right? It's going to be one idea per slide. It's going to be clear, simple truths, and 3 brief points for reflection for all of them. Now, here's the biggest takeaway that if I had just learned this sooner, every time I have dizziness or shakiness or a fear, if I had learned this sooner, it would have totally helped me. This is the foundation of your recovery. You have to face what you feel. So the thing you're afraid of, whether it's being alone, whether it's a thought, whether it's a sensation, you have to face it. You have to accept it, which means you're not trying to get rid of it. You're not trying to push it away. You're not waiting for it to change. And then float, which means kind of like floating through the discomfort. So if you're in an ocean and the anxiety symptoms are the ocean, you want to float in the ocean as opposed to fighting the current. And then finally, letting time pass. Even though like I was texting someone literally today, and they were telling me it's so annoying that like one panic attack just set me off in this spiral. And it's a common case for a lot of people where like you have one panic attack and then you're stuck. The thing that most people don't know is that it's not that that one panic attack is what dysregulated the nervous system. It could be if it was like some sort of intense trauma, but usually it took time for your nervous system to get dysregulated. So it's going to take a little bit of time for it to heal, and that's okay. So let that time pass. Even if you're like almost there, 80% there, let the last 20% pass. Let the last bit of time do its job. Cool. Here's one of the things that most people don't know about anxiety. Is called first and second fear, or primary and secondary fear. So you have the first fear, which is your automatic body's reaction, right? So this is, oh my God, I have a palpitation. Oh my God, I have a dizziness. Oh my God, whatever it is, right? Whatever triggers you, the fear associated with being alone, the fear associated with traffic on the highway, whatever it may be. The first fear is okay. It's not the problem. The problem is the second fear, or the secondary fear, which is the mental panic we add on top of it. So it's like, I have a palpitation. Oh my God, what if I have a heart attack? Oh my God, something's wrong with my heart. Let me keep touching my heart. Let me count my pulses. Let me count my heartbeat. And you keep thinking about it. That is a problem. That secondary fear is actually what keeps us stuck. So you can't stop the first, but you can stop fueling the second fear. Now, I want to explain something called nervous fatigue, right? So if you've noticed brain fog, weird sensations, aches out of nowhere, it's that anxiety wears out your system. Believe it or not, you're not supposed to be in fight or flight or freeze unless there's an actual danger. So your body will show you symptoms as a result of this. This could be you feel tired. This could be you have a good night's sleep, but you still don't feel well rested. You might feel a little foggy, unclear. That doesn't mean they're dangerous. That doesn't mean something's wrong with your health or now you have a brain tumor or cancer or anything like that. It's just a sign of a burnt out nervous system that needs recovery, not fear. So exhaustion, your body's tired of constantly being alert. Brain fog, your brain is tired of overthinking. It's kind of like if you think of your brain on an exercise bike, you can only go at max speed for so long before you get tired, right? Physical aches. This comes from tension in your body. So when you're anxious or when you're stressed, we hold that stress in our body. Some parts of the body that you hold the most stress, your neck, your shoulders, your hips, your face. Cool. Now let's talk about how sensitivity is not weakness. So having anxiety or being sensitive to these things or being on high alert, it's not a disadvantage. And I'll explain why, right? You're not weak. You're just sensitive. This isn't a flaw. So the same way, if someone's sensitive, they're in touch with their emotions, they just might need a little bit more safety and support instead of pressure to stop worrying. So remind yourself that, hey, if you're sensitive about little things, or you're overthinking a lot and you feel and you're criticizing yourself for doing it, like, I shouldn't be worried about this, I should be able to do this alone, or I should be able to be fully healed now. Remember, that's not a weakness. Don't use that as an excuse to judge yourself or criticize yourself. It's a trait, it's not a weakness. It requires understanding, not judgment. Now let's talk about something that most people don't want to hear, or they want to play a victim, but your nervous system can heal. You can heal. I don't care how long you've had anxiety. I don't care how many health tests you've done. I don't care how many things you've tried. Your nervous system can heal. You are not permanently damaged. Your nervous system is just wounded, not broken. Just like a muscle. Like if you broke your leg right now, yes, you won't be running any marathons anytime soon, but with the proper rest, with the proper care, your leg will heal and you will walk on 2 feet again. So you're not broken, you're just wounded. And your nervous system has been under strain that made it wounded, but we're healing. That's why we're here. All of you guys are on different points of your journey, which means you're restoring that balance to your nervous system. Cool. Here's something that I wish I learned 10 years ago. Acceptance is the path to freedom. Trying to fix your anxiety is what keeps it alive. So when you actually allow it to be there without resistance, you take away its power. You're fighting, you're checking, you're struggling, you're tensing. That just creates more tension, more fear. You accepting that is releasing the struggle and allowing peace. How do you accept? You practice meditation, because in meditation, you're literally like the whole point of meditation is the art of listening, the art of not interference, the art of not struggling. We're not good at that. We're not good at letting our anxiety symptoms or thoughts be there. So you're releasing that struggle and allowing peace. But that's a skill in itself to learn. And here's probably one of the most important points I'll talk about today, which is floating, not fighting. So, as I talked about before, because it's so important, I'll repeat myself till the day I die, you're fighting anxiety, you're interfering with it, the pushing away, the checking, the tightening, the holding your breath, the safety behaviors. All of that creates more adrenaline, more anxiety, the very thing that you don't like. So, floating means literally softening into the moment. And I want everyone to do this with me. Like if you're not driving, if you're not doing anything dangerous, actually do this. So just take your hand and just close your fist and just do it really tightly. This is you every time you have an anxiety symptom or a thought. At least most of you. What you're learning to do, and what I want you to do right now, if possible, is kind of now soften your fingers. Let the hands go, let the palms go. Don't hold any tension. So instead of tightening, you're releasing. So fighting increases tension, more adrenaline, keeps you stuck in fight or flight, and keeps the cycle going. Floating softens your resistance, allows you to naturally calm down, and it trusts that the body knows how to heal. Here's what's crazy. Your body already knows how to heal. Your nervous system already knows how to fix itself. You're just letting that naturally happen when you stop interfering with the process. It's kind of like if you have a chicken in the oven, right? You checking if the chicken's cooked, you adjusting the temperature every 2 seconds, turning it on, turning it off. That's just lengthening the process and the time it takes to cook the chicken. But if you just put it in the oven, you put the right temperature, you check every now and again to see if it's not burning, but ultimately you trust the oven to cook the chicken, right? So trust that your body has the knowledge it needs to fix itself, to heal itself. Cool. Here's kind of like the second last point. Timing is essential. You will not heal your anxiety overnight. You will not heal your anxiety in a week. You might not heal your anxiety in a month. You might not heal your anxiety in a year fully. And that's okay. That's not the point. The point isn't to rush your healing. The point is to let it happen with time. Let your body take the time it needs to relearn. This is why medication is so easy to go on because it's a pill that you put in your mouth and you swallow, and there's no other effort you need to do. There's no other patience that comes with it. But learning to fix it naturally requires patience, requires you letting time do its job, requires setbacks, requires up and downs, requires small improvements as opposed to, and the small improvements can kind of look like, hey, like I was talking to Angela earlier on. So, for example, one of the things she was worried about was like throwing up and then ruminating about it. Even though she had the, anticipation, anxiety, and the thoughts, she didn't have a panic attack when previously she would have. That's unsexy, but that is progress. That's huge progress. And the journey is like that. So it's better to embrace it. So patience is part of healing. Trust the process. Give yourself time. And finally, I will scream this because it's so important. You are not broken. You are not broken. Just because you have a few symptoms here and there, just because you struggle with social situations or driving or being alone, you're not broken. Just because you have anxiety doesn't mean you're broken. It's just a sign, hey, your nervous system has been under stress and you're healing and you're doing it right. Right? It's kind of like if something hurts you and you cry, it's not a bad thing. That's just your body telling you what you care about, what you're sensitive about, right? It's like if you get food poisoning and your body throws up. Yes, throwing up might be uncomfortable, but that's your body just telling you, hey, what you ate wasn't good. We need to get it out of your body. So your anxiety is not a sign that you're broken. It's just a sign given by your nervous system that it needs a little time, needs a little action, and recovery is possible. You have everything you need within you, literally do. You don't need the next technique, you don't need the next thing. You just need to apply what's consistently working, mindfulness, rain tap, slowing down, the specific things that you've noticed work especially well for you, and do it on a long enough time horizon, which just means you do it consistently and you give it time. You're not broken, you're okay. And I'm very glad I had anxiety because I got to meet all of these wonderful people and do this for a living and make my meditations and actually teach the world how to do the same. And you one day, and you probably already realize this, you're becoming more of a resilient person, more of a stronger person, more patient as a result of having anxiety. So there is an ROI at the end of this. Okay, cool. I'm going to go back to you.